Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Dose of Ayo. Today we'll be talking, before I even talk about what we are going to be talking about, as you can see, I have a guest on the channel and, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Ruth and it's an honor to be on Dose of Ayo. I feel so privileged.
I just wanted to talk about toxic work environment, my experience, and how to handle it, and just basically things around career. So first, I like to ask: have you experienced or have you worked in a toxic environment before?
Yes, not even one, but then I have experienced it. And so the striking one for me was when I just finished NYC. I got this job with accommodation. The pay was just not bad for a start, and everything. I was on the island, so I moved there, and I just stayed in the place for 6 months. And from the very first day I stepped in that company, I knew that this wasn't so good for me. The environment was toxic in the sense that there was no structure. The boss was really, it was not to my father or my grandfather, but it was really condescending. The way he talks to me down. Like I lost self-confidence and everything. And don't even bring the aspect of spiritually and all. I knew that this place wasn't good for me because I wasn't even progressing and all. So it was really toxic. I went there to start learning accounting and all, but then this man turned me into a marketer. Turned me into a different things. He almost asked me to start cleaning the office for him and everything. So after a while, I knew I couldn't stay, and things that I was saying that my mental health was really bad. I was not, growing. I was always depressed. I had so much issues, anxiety and sickness and whatsoever. So after a while, I just had to leave. So I've had experiences. And I know this toxic work thing, you might not always get the best job. Even when you think you get another job, you still experience it. It might not be the job name, with the people. So yes, I've had an experience.
But to think that there is no toxic environment without toxic people.
Yes.
Toxic people make the environment toxic. Yes. And then every act of bullying, form of manipulation, threats, all of those things are basically what makes an environment toxic. Well, I've had my own share too, from people lying against me to boss looking down on me, some level of emotional bullying, or when they make you feel less of yourself. This particular job that I'm talking about, to think that even as a woman, to be honest, there are so many hurdles we face in workplace and all of that.
Actually, women against women.
Because what I like to ask, has that affected you in any way?
Yes, so many ways. So, in terms of mental health and not being confident. And the thing is, for mental health, I realized that when I was in that position, I started falling sick a lot. And that is one thing. Once I'm in a toxic space, I start falling sick. Because it affects me mentally to the point that I start having anxiety, I start being afraid that what's going to happen to me? What is the next thing? What are they going to say again? So what have I done wrong? And once they mention your name or you see your name in email or anything, your first reaction is fear, anxiety, and worry. And to be honest, it affected me to the point of even going to the hospital. Really, that I had to start seeking help and all those things. And another thing too is I wasn't confident in my work, in myself.
Because any longer.
Yeah, by the time you do something that you know that this thing, I'm so good at my job, because at that time I was leaving school. I had a very good grade. I was really happy only to get to a job like that downplayed me. Even when I started going for interviews, and I was always doing nonsense at the interviews then, because I wasn't sure of myself because of the things that these people have constantly.
And it was not like that.
Yes, they've constantly said to me and all that. These things like, you're a disaster, your work is this, your work is that. Every word, your work is this, you're mediocre, those kind of every word. And it will affect you physically, mentally, to be honest. Yeah, so toxic jobs, they have effects on people. Yeah,
I agree with you totally. I agree with you. I remember one time too that I had to, my boss at the time told us to brainstorm and come up with ideas to move the company forward, and I was so excited. I had a lot of ideas I shared with my colleague, And then I didn't even know when she went up and presented the idea to my boss and told my boss that I'm not doing anything. I'm just collecting salary. I'm not adding anything to the company. And then my boss summoned me. I was like, you know what, Ayo, you are not doing so much. Look at all the things that this lady did. And I'm like,
it was your own idea.
I was just looking. I could not even defend myself because there was a perception already. If I wanted to talk and she was like, you know what, don't say anything. Just get out. Just get out.
Toxic people make toxic environments. The building is not what is toxic. It's the people in there that makes a place toxic. So,
and it's important we have this conversation because for most people, if not everybody, or someone like me or someone like you, who I feel we've worked hard to actually build our confidence.
Yes.
Not everybody had confidence.
Yes.
Some of us have taken, time. We put a lot of intentionality into working on ourselves, working on our confidence.
And then someone just, sit down,
come and you just want to break down everything with your
nasty things to you, and then you think you've gotten to level 70 and then you're going down to 0 because of the words. And these bosses and these people need to understand that even if someone is not doing their work well, how you address it matters a lot. You don't address everything with shouting, with fight. You need to talk to the person. How you address it really, really matters a lot, because the more you abuse them, the more you talk down on them, you're even doing your company damage, because they're not going to put in their all into it again, because you cannot see it. All you see is negative things. And before you know it, they'll leave you and go to another place. And
do you think it's like a trend? So this is the question. Some of these bosses or people that will work it out that are toxic, maybe they were treated the same way.
Yes.
They're now passing it down to. They don't even know they become what they used to detest.
Yes, and there's a very thin line in between passing down to others what you've experienced. These people have experienced. Some of them, they may or they might not. Let's just say, but a lot of people that do this thing, they've either experienced it from their family. It could be their parents that have stuck to them in that way, or experience it from a senior boss. And what's the next thing they have to do? Oh, I've experienced it before, let me pass it down to others. When you're supposed to sit down and think about not letting other people feel the way you have felt. Some of them might be a character flaw. Maybe they're just very badly behaved. While some, it's what has happened before. So I feel like it's a trend. They've experienced it too. And I usually tell myself, when I'm working with somebody, I try my best to ensure that I don't pass the energy that I've experienced to others. When people make mistakes, or maybe I'm supposed to supervise their work or something, and I notice a mistake, I can do when I'm in my moment or I'm angry, I don't call them or I don't say anything. Later, I'll just, as this work you did, you are giving me extra work, these are the things you did, I didn't like. But instead of me in that moment, you are mad, you are stupid and start shouting. You've forgotten you also went through your experience. How do you expect the next person to feel? Because they keep passing it. It needs to stop somewhere. Yeah, that's it.
And we also need to do better as individuals. Some of us are complaining of toxic environments, toxic people, but we are toxic.
Yes.
Some of us, we are rumor spreader. We are carrier of bad news.
Of course.
When we see other people's mistakes, we are quick to
any to this person needs to send a mail. Yes, there are few people that are very exceptional, but you need to be careful, because when you have ideas or you have anything, the main thing is just, some of them, they will insult you, just take your idea, like she said earlier, pick it and move. Another set of people, they'll just, maybe they catch you on LinkedIn, next thing for them to tell your boss, this person wants to leave. It comes in different form. It comes in different form. That's the experience. 9 to 5.
How do we handle toxic environments and toxic people, basically?
So for my first experience, the first thing, I tried to stay to see how things could be better, but I left. I went to sit down at home. I didn't mind being jobless. I was much younger then, but I can't do that now because I need money, of course. So what I was just...
This thing that you said, sorry to cut you. There is a perception about Gen Zs. You are not Gen Z
I'm
now.
not Gen Z.
There's a perception about Gen Z when people talk about their job and their mental health. And these are the issues.
Yeah.
It actually exists.
Of course.
Yeah,
I wish to be Gen Z because they have this drive of anything you do, I'm leaving. But then we're from a generation that we cannot just carry our bags and leave. We think about the future. Those ones, because And because of the kind of job
but those
they
Gen
have,
Zs that are living, they always find a way out.
they always find it. That's because of the kind of work they have. They might be into because they are this kind of job they can easily get at any time. They're in demand. They're in high demand.
I don't think so.
And then they don't tolerate nonsense.
They don't.
They don't tolerate.
They can look at anybody in the eye.
You know, they say everything. You don't tolerate nonsense. But if you're not that kind of person, first of the personality thing, is that what you can do? Can you just leave your job and stay at home? I've done it once. It worked for me. I got a job 1 month later. And when that one too.
So how did you handle it?
So when I noticed that I needed to leave the job, I got support from my parents, because my daddy was always like, if you can't stay, just come home. Hunger doesn't kill people. You're not dumb, you're not stupid, you definitely get another job. My mom on the other hand was saying, what if you don't get, in fact, because she was just thinking about, oh, you're just finishing school and all those things. It was on Christmas Day. I packed all my load, everything, both the accommodation, the Ajara Sweet life, the island life and everything. I left it and then I went back home. I got another job. So then my first reaction to negativity and toxic job was to leave. But currently, I've got another perception, and if you're still there for the finances, if you're being paid well, you're getting good money from the job, and it's hard for you to get another kind of job with such benefits like that. The thing I'll just tell you is that guard your mental space. It's something I'm constantly doing. Guard your mental space. Everything that you're saying and all the negative things you're saying, just know that it's on them and not on you. It's on them, because some of them bring their bad attitude to work. They may be in a bad mood and they come into work.
Maybe this one don't fight with the husband before coming.
Exactly. Or they might have issues with their boyfriend, or maybe they have issues with the driver on the road and everything.
Some of them are even living in fear that they might lose the job. Some of them are not even competent like you.
Yes. Some are even insecure. They are feeling threatened by you. So first thing I tell myself is, okay, yes, I know these words are hurting me so bad. I'm currently even experiencing one. The words are hurting me so bad. I feel there was one time I came up from and I started crying. Like I cried all through. What I just tell myself is, thank you. What I just tell myself is, I'm in control of my mind. I'm in control of my mental health. These things these people say, it's on them. Am I stupid? No. Is your work this? No. If they want to think of it that way, fine. So first thing for me to do is to guard my mental health, because at the end of the day, you're going to land in the hospital and the stress is going to be on you. Second thing I'll just say is, while you are guarding your mental health, seek support. There's no how a workplace will be toxic. There will always be somebody that will have your back, except you're a wicked person. As long as you're doing your work well, there's somebody that will have your back. Those are the kind of people. Be careful, because some of them say they have your back, but they're going to say nothing. So those are the people that you know that you should reach out to for support, for help. They will guide you, they will help you, they'll tell you how to deal with this. I had my dark moments even recently, but then there was someone that was constantly helping me, and I was able to be under her shield and learn from her. And another thing is, while you are there, if you're not going to leave, you're not planning to leave, plan your exit strategy. This means that what skill are you adding? You've seen what is out there in the market. What do they want? Start learning those skills from now, because no matter how good the money is, there'll be a day that this toxicity will get to you and you can just get up and slap your boss. Things like that can happen. But don't do that. But while you're still keeping everything in, what you can just do is to guide your mental space, guide your seek support, and ensure that you are working on yourself, working on your skill. This is a skill that will take me out of this place. Yes, let me work on it. Put these things in place and everything. And then when you've gotten your skill, go out there and be proud. And before you know, you start rushing in like hot cake. When I was in one toxic job, what I did, I would make sure that I stay behind every day from work, and I started learning, started advancing.
This topic is for you.
I started advancing my skills, doing a lot of things. I stayed behind and make sure that I started learning. That was what I learned, that I got another job. So if you worked before, of course, it's going to work again. And again, toxic work, like I say, is Nigerian economy. There's no way. Yes, the work is healthy, but there will only be one or two. So you just keep developing yourself so that you'll be able to be marketable outside.
And one thing is, like my pastor will say, do your best.
Yes.
what is worth doing is worth doing well.
True.
You should never be caught not doing your job or not doing your job well. There are some places that you won't be able to speak, but the quality of your job will be able to speak.
Definitely.
So even when people are, coming up against you, your job can speak for you. You have to like aim for excellence. And this also might sound somehow, but I also believe in not rushing out. Like you said, there were times that you cried, and you got to mind. Sometimes you even be like, God, what's happening? Now job I asked for. And even though it's not something that we should embrace or we should 100% embrace, but there's also a part of capacity building. They make you stronger. They make you tougher. Sometimes God will want us to even go through some of these things to learn lesson for the next job we are going for. There are some things we've learned in previous toxic way that I won't make this mistake again. I'm not going to relate with people like this again. I need to be able to separate my personal life from maybe because I told this person about something, I won't do it again. So for everything we go through, it's a learning curve for us. But then then I also want to talk about the God factor. Sometimes when we're experiencing, I do it a lot. I will just carry the matter drop for God's feet, like, God, this is what is going on. No, I don't understand why this person is like this. God can even give you a word, you can even talk to these people, even your boss. And what do you think? What is this? And then you have a conversation and you are good, because at the end of the day, there's some networks, some even leverages and platforms that are opportunities that we tend to enjoy now that are a result of some of the network or people that we've met in the past.
So let me give you a trick that I started learning. Whenever I send a report out or send a work, I send this work as name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. I literally do that every time, just so that it doesn't bounce back and have issues. And we're not trying to play church or anything. We don't neglect the God factor, because some of these things are not even spiritual. Some people, the person was nice to you before, not physical, they're not ordinary, and all of a sudden the person changes. So you don't joke with God. If you're in a toxic environment or anything, carry their names, pray on them. Not for evil. I think this person will favor me. Speak God's word over their lives.
Some of them might even approach you and tell you the issues they have with you, because to be honest, we are not 100% perfect.
Yes, you tighten your loose end. Whenever like me, I try to be open-minded. After I cry and everything, whenever I notice that they have said these things about me, I'll just try, it's like things I need to work on, it's like things I need to improve on, it's things I need to adjust, and I adjust and we're fine. And if they're not proving stubborn, I have God now. Case closed.
And if it's affecting you so badly, like you said,
if you can't
get out
anymore, just leave.
Just leave. There are 1001 jobs. Just work on yourself. I think you mentioned that, just some of the things you did, and just get out of that system.
And if you've done all these things you mentioned and things are not changing, please, your work is more important than your life is more important than your work. When there's life, there's hope. Instead of killing yourself or feeling depressed and everything, just your slippers, my dear. Go home, sit down, God will provide for you, and then you learn more skills, you get a better job. You want to be attacked, you what you have done. So that's it. That's it.
Okay, so this is not really related to the video, but if you are watching this video and you are toxic, to think that we spend most of our lives at work, 9 to 5 is like, it's not like 9 to 5. You are leaving, some of us leave home around 5 o'clock, 5:30, and then you come back 10. There's some people that come back 9. Yes, sir. There's some people that at 9, they are still inside traffic.
Some of them are still in the office.
So you now go to work, you are toxic, you are fighting with someone, or someone is fighting with you. That's where you spend the most of your life. Please now, life is not that hard.
And you don't know the kind of, because people are different. Some people that they can take it. Some people are very sensitive. Little things you say to them, you know the kind of things that will hurt them. If you're that, sometimes my colleague might say, I didn't like what you said to me. I'm like, I'm so sorry. It's not intentional. But if you're intentionally making other people feel bad because you're the boss or you're trying to feel, don't let people cry to God because of you. You need to work on yourself and stop being toxic.
Because even you that are passing the toxicity, you are sad yourself.
Let's
make our work face happy. We can be all smiley, do our job, everywhere is, all of that, and people go home. So I think that will bring us to the end of this video. I hope we have learned one or two things. Please share your experience in the comment section. Let's hear from you, or if you have other things we can also learn from you, please drop it in the comment section. We are going to see you some other time on this channel. Thank you for coming, Ruthie.
Thank you.
All right guys, bye.